So momentarily I'm going to sign the Stop Woke Act. We actually have two other bills. We just did the legislature just did a special session. They passed 3 pieces of legislation. I'm going to sign 2 of those here today. One was, we did a bill last year to combat censorship by big tech companies. And it did a couple things, but it provided Floridians the ability to sue big tech if you are deplatformed or censored based on viewpoint discrimination under a consumer fraud theory, because they say they're open platforms and they steal your data and make a fortune off that. We also provided protection for political candidates so they can't deplatform you during the campaign and give the other party an advantage, which they probably would do. So anyways, there's a lot of good stuff. But, you know, look, this is something we knew big tech would litigate, and so they sued on it. It's now on appeal. They got a preliminary injunction from a district judge. It's on appeal. Next week is going to be the argument in the 11th Circuit. One of the provisions that got snuck into there at the end was a carve-out for anybody who operated a theme park, which is meant to protect Disney. And, you know, I was in a situation as governor, do I veto the whole bill over that and get nothing, or do I sign it in spite of that? So I thought it was better to sign it in spite of that, knowing it was going to be litigated and know we could tweak it later. But the district judge actually pointed to that provision as one of the reasons why he wanted to do the preliminary injunction. So it was a mistake for it to be done. The legislature has rectified that mistake, and they have repealed the Disney exemption to our big tech bill. That's important. The other bill will be dealing with a handful of what are called these special districts that were done prior to the ratification of our Constitution in 1968. And one of those districts is, unlike anything else that we know in the state of Florida, that was called Reedy Creek Improvement District. It actually gave Walt Disney Company their own government in Central Florida. And so they control, they're self-governing. They have the ability to build a nuclear power plant without state consent if they want. They don't have to go through permitting. They have all kind of different benefits. And it was really an aberration. No individual or no company in Florida is treated this way. And it's not right to have dissimilar treatment. But, you know, they had exercised a lot of power over the years. It was never anything that was debated. In fact, I don't even know that I knew the name of it prior to this becoming something that was live in the past few months. So we had to take a look at that, and we looked, and we said, you know what? I mean, man, this is not right. But, you know, you did have the situation with our Parents' Rights and Education bill. And the thing is, you know, when you're doing some of this stuff, you know, what happens with leftists and media. They like to distort. They like to create false narratives. For whatever reason, Disney got on that bandwagon. They demagogued the bill. They lied about it, whatever, came out against it. You know what? My view is, I was very clear about saying, you ain't influencing me. I'm standing strong right here, so it doesn't matter. But, you know, I was very clear. But I was also saying, you know, I think it's interesting that you're getting involved in Florida, protecting kindergartners from going to school without having transgender ideology in their curriculum, but you don't say anything about the Communist Party of China with all the atrocities they're committing, and you're making a fortune with them. You don't say things about other countries and their practices, but nevertheless, I mean, it's fine. And so we weren't going to let that deter us. No big deal. We signed the bill, and then, and incredibly, they say, we are going to work to repeal parents' rights in Florida. And I'm just thinking to myself, you're a corporation based in Burbank, California, and you're going to marshal your economic might to attack the parents of my state? We view that as a provocation, and we're going to fight back against that. But honestly, even in spite of that, if none of that had happened, this is the right thing to do, just on the basis of those Zoom videos that you saw. He actually helped expose these Zoom videos. If you guys haven't seen these videos, you need to watch these videos. These are videos of very high up people in this corporation in Disney, and they're talking about their intentional agenda to inject sexuality in the programming that's provided to our youngest kids, kids of my age, 5, 4, and 2. They want that as part of Disney programming. You know, that is just fundamentally wrong. and they have the freedom, I guess, to do what they want. But as a parent, I was very shaken by hearing that, because it's one thing to talk about legislation, and yes, they were wrong, yes, they did all that, but when you're talking about these acknowledgments and really the glee that these people had in these videos, that they were going to get this stuff in, they were talking about concepts like pansexualism. I thought to myself, I don't know what that means, but I know I don't want my 5-year-old daughter to be taught it. And so it's really, really problematic that when a company had been so synonymous with parents of young children, to yes, come out against the Parents' Rights Bill, but then to have those videos produced where they're doing that. And you know, I'm just not comfortable having that type of agenda get special treatment in my state. I just can't do it. And so the bill here sets the marker that is going to go. Now, people will say they do have services, utilities. We're going to take care of all that. Don't worry. This is all, we have everything thought out. Don't let anyone tell you that somehow Disney is going to get a tax cut out of this. They're going to pay more taxes as a result of it. But it's just, you know, we really need to get away from this type of treatment that was really unlike anything we've ever seen. And so, you know, I thought it was appropriate. I would have, you know, signed this bill 3 years ago if it had come to my desk just on basic principles. But I think that partnership that developed early on with Walt Disney, I don't think Walt would appreciate what's going on in this company right now. I'm sorry. And so I think it's appropriate to sign that here today. We also did sign the congressional reapportionment in Tallahassee earlier today, so that's going to be transmitted. But these are the bills, the Stop Woke, which passed during the regular session, and then the theme park carve-out from our big tech bill, and the special districts bill. We're going to put our John Hancocks on all of those right now. All right, I got to figure out which one is which. I may not have enough pens for all this. Let's see. Okay. So this is the Stop Woke. All right. Then we've got the big tech exemption. Then we've got the special districts. Okay. All right. Today is the 22nd, I think.
Yes. Stand closer. Can you guys squeeze in there? Go, 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 go. Go.
Oh, yeah, of course. Got more. All right, guys. Almost done. One more. All right, there you go, sir. Who else wants one?
Grab one, Mama.
Right over here.
Okay.
Grab one, Mama.
I'll give you guys one on the next bill. Freedom from indoctrination. Now, I don't know who set up this table, staff, but I am out of markers. Do we have any more markers in the house?
I got one.
Huh?
Oh.
You go, Governor.
Mentos. I wanted to be able to keep it. Do we have any more?
There you
Okay,
are.
we got one more. All right.
You have to sign my sign, though.
Okay.
Let's
So
go,
I'm signing
Elon.
the big tech, removing the exemption for big tech.
Hey, there they are. The stash.
Nice.
Throwing them in the audience.
Mama, now you can grab one, Emma.
Omar, do you want one?
Yeah.
When he's done signing.
And I think we're going to win this appeal, and so, you know, to be the first state in the country to actually give people recourse of what big tech's trying to do. They are trying to control the narrative. They are trying to stifle dissenting views. That's why Twitter doesn't want to sell to Elon Musk. Because they know he's going to open it up, and they're not going to be able to control what people think anymore. So that big tech one is done. So we've got that one. Who wants one? All right. Now, independent special district. governed by the best interests of the people of this state, not by any one woke corporation. We're not going to let them take over the state, and I think this is an example. All right, so now we've got, who wants one of these?
Oh, like, oh, I'm so sorry. Gabby, get one from
There you go, Emma. Grab one for you and your brother. Gabriel, stick your hand in there.
May I have one?
Oh no.
Got one?
Yes, a little bit.
Go, Gabriel, stick your hand in there. One more, right here.
Hey, got it. Good job.